So for today's dinner, we have some baked potatoes, beans, salad, and some sweet chilli hummus. And this delicious looking salad was grown by my daughter from our garden, as well as the potatoes. And my daughter prepared this dinner as well, so that's good. So there's more of the salad, and do you remember what the name of the lettuce? My daughter can't recall the name of the lettuce, but it looks tasty lettuce, so that's its name. And there's the baked potatoes, and my daughter's here's got some gherkins, and she's opened her potatoes up to put some butter in, and we've got some Violife grated cheese to sprinkle if anybody would like that. So yeah, can't wait to eat this because we're all ravenous, and yeah, I'll be back tomorrow. So for today's dinner, I've just made noodles with stir-fried vegetables, and I've just used my wok to cook some noodles that need used up in the cupboard. So we've got a little bit of wholemeal noodles, some white noodles, and some soba noodles, Japanese soba noodles. So yeah, and then it's just a pack of frozen stir-fried vegetables, which has got all the usual, I think some bamboo, carrot, some pea pods, some pepper, and some bean sprouts. And I just added some frozen broad beans to it all, and added water, some mushroom stock, and some Chinese 5-spice powder, some garlic, some minced garlic, and onion powder. And I put some sweet chili sauce in as well, and just cooked it all for a few minutes. And you can see the stock is really tasty. So and it's got some in the frozen pack too, the little corn cobs, and it's all just so simple and easy. And I made a chili bread yesterday, so these have got flakes of chili through them, and I'm just serving them some chili bread, and I might put a few drops of the sesame oil on top just for sesame taste. So that's it, so easy and quick. So for today's dinner, we have a slow cooker vegan beef and barley and broad bean stew, and it's got them in it, and it's got some carrot chunks, and the beef is soya chunks or TVP, which textured vegetable protein, and there's onion and garlic and some veggie stock and some tamari soy sauce, and a little bit of nutritional yeast at the end, and some white wine vinegar and some herbs. And I just mashed up some turnip and served it with some peas and a little slice of homemade bread, and that's what we've got. Oh, and there's just a little bit of parsley chopped on that one. So that's just what we've got for dinner. So for today's dinner, it's just me and my daughter because my other child is away at the grandparents. So I have made these super green falafels. As you can see, they're green insides. And I used this pack, Falafel Super Greens, which is like chickpea flour, and it's got spinach and broccoli, which obviously makes it green. And yeah, so I've used one of these, and it did say on the pack that you were to deep fry in lots of oil, but I only used a little bit of oil. And that's why you can still, I quite like seeing the green bits at that side as well. So anyway, stop spaffling. I've got some leftover quinoa from yesterday's taco bar, and there's obviously those those edamame and the peas and the broad beans, what I cooked in the quinoa. And we've got some spring onions left over, and I made a dressing, and this, I just put it in this mason jar, and I made a dressing. It's got some tahini, apple cider vinegar, a minced garlic clove, a little bit of maple syrup, and some salt and pepper, and just mixed all that up. And I've just given myself that, but I haven't given any there yet because she can put it on herself. And I've given her the 2 leftover mini tacos from yesterday as well, because kids have got better appetites than adults. So she can just fill up the taco wraps or just eat the wraps and whatever, but she'll probably fill them up into little tacos. And I'm just loving the colours, the green colours of this. It's just pretty, I think. Anyway, so yeah, that's what we're going to have for our dinner. So for today's dinner, we're having a mini taco bar, and we are having like chicken-free tacos with these chicken-free dippers, and that's them there, ready to go. And I have made a black bean refried beans. These are a couple of cans of black beans, and I've just cooked them with some onion powder and some garlic powder, some paprika, and a little bit of liquid aminos. And there's some liquid smoke to make them smoky at the end. And there's some nutritional yeast flakes. And what else went in? I think that's about it. And then just a little bit of stock, and just cook them up until it's really thick, and then you mash them up. This is the first time I've made black bean ones, and they're absolutely delicious. They're so savoury. So that's what we've got. And I also made some quinoa. I just cooked this quinoa in a little bit of vegan chicken stock, and I used a mix that I got from Marks and Spencer's the other week. It's a frozen mix. It had edamame beans and broad beans and peas, and I just cooked about a cup with that and just cooked it all together in the pot, and it looks really good. And I've got some green onions, or in Scotland we call them spring greens. Spring greens, no we don't. We call them spring onions. It's because I was looking at the wild rocket, that's why I called them spring greens. So we've just got some wild rocket, or I think in the US it's arugula. Sorry if I don't pronounce that right. We've just got some of that, and there's just some cherry tomatoes. And that's our little tacos. And we're using our little taco stands, and that's the tacos that I was using. I got 2 packs of these. This is the second pack, and they're actually really nice. So yeah, I'll just get one of my kids, because my other one is away to visit their grandparents, so it's just me and my daughter. So we're just going to go in, thingy them up. And this is my daughter's one, and a bit of a mess. But never mind. I'm sure she'll enjoy it. But yeah. Sorry. And yeah, I was just thinking that maybe I should have made some sauces to go with it, like a lime or avocado sauce, but I don't have limes or avocados. And I always think about sauces after I've made the food. So anyway, yeah, I think my daughter's got some ketchup in there anyway with quinoa. Yum. Oh, we're going in for more refried black beans. Okay, so I will see you tomorrow. So for today's dinner, I just found this recipe off the internet. I have used I have made an Orzo chickpea and red lentil stew. And you can see it's got Orzo, got chopped tomatoes, chickpeas, red lentils, and it's got a little bit of cumin, though I can't really taste the cumin. And it's got some veggie stock, the onion and garlic, and I just mixed through a huge bunch of spinach, though it doesn't look like it. I just added the spinach. I didn't have spinach added on the recipe, but I just added it in. And there's some chopped carrot, and there is some broad beans that my daughter found in the garden. They're actually really quite big. The broad beans, I don't know if you can tell the difference, how big they are, but she found these 3 humongous broad beans lurking around when she thought she had picked all her crop, but she found them today, and they were absolutely humongous. This one here is about the same size as a large hand. It's really big. I don't know if you know what the difference, but that's the slow cooker lid, and that's the broad bean, and it's just humongous. So we just chucked these in as an extra just to cook, and I'm going to serve this with some bread that I got from Marks and Spencer's the other week. It was reduced bread, and I'll show you what it looks like. So here's the Orzo stew dished up, and it looks quite pretty, and I've just toasted some oat bread for hungry people, like my kids are always hungry, and this is really low in calories. It said on the website that a serving was about 170 calories. So yeah, I don't think that my added spinach or the few little broad beans would have made a difference. So yeah, that's some bread to spread it, just to bulk it out a bit. So that's what we're off to eat. So for today's dinner, we have the salt and pepper rolls from Morrison's, and I have a spicy bean burger from Aldi's, and my daughter has not a spicy one, she has a vegetable burger from Aldi's, and my son's not here, he's out with his friends, and we've just got some of the Marks and Spencer's chips, some baked beans, some cherry tomatoes, a big pile of spinach, and some cucumber. And my daughter's also put on some gherkins and some salsa. So I just put the salad at the side because then we could just stick what we want on our roll instead of trying to make an edible roll so big. So anyway, that's what we're going to have for our quick dinner.